Hi, if you are a creative, if you are a wellness practitioner, a healer, a therapist, or a ceremonialist or spiritual coach, and you know that your work is so powerful, but your income feels inconsistent, this is a video training that I made for you. Because what I'm about to show you is how to build 8K to 16K months by creating a movement around your body of work. Not by posting every day, not by building complicated funnels, and not by burning out. And yes, I'm going to talk about workshops, but not the way that most people do, because the workshop isn't a product. The workshop is the engine. It's the front door to a year-round ecosystem that compounds. So let me make this really, really simple. We are building consistent income without posting constantly. Your social becomes a portfolio, not a performance. Without complex funnels, we build an ecosystem that sells like architecture. Without paid ads as the foundation, we use aligned rooms, aligned partners, and warm audiences. Without reinventing your offer every single month, we refine what already works and we make it scale for you. Because the truth is, the most soulful entrepreneurs don't have an effort problem, they have a coherence problem. So I'm Hillary L. Hahn, and I built my business after living in what I call the busy but not compounding reality. So prior to going all in on my business in 2018, I was working in multiple roles, teaching, directing programs, building curriculum. I shifted to holding space, doing private lessons. I was always creating, always serving, but it didn't stack, and I didn't own the infrastructure. I didn't own the scalability. And honestly, I was burning out. I remember when my son was about 3, I was still commuting. My weekends disappeared. And I remember this deep feeling of dread on the commute, not because I didn't love what I did, but because I could tell that my work was building someone else's vision more than it was building mine. So I hit a moment where I realized that if I didn't become the creator of my own reality, that I was going to keep living in a system where my gifts were always being extracted, but never fully valued and owned by me. And I want you to hear me. Entrepreneurship isn't easy, but it is the only thing that has ever given me real freedom. Freedom of time, freedom to choose my own location, and freedom of income. The freedom to create a life where my body of work actually belongs to me. So every day when I come into my office, when I come into my studio, I know that I'm creating something that compounds. And what I see over and over with healers and creatives, you are so talented and you have the transformation and you hold these beautiful spaces and you have depth, but your offers are scattered. I have devoted the past 5 to 7 years to bringing all of my offerings into a converging place and holding others' work who are doing the same. So you might be holding a few sessions here, a program idea there, a retreat dream over here. Maybe you'll launch a retreat one day, maybe a workshop that you've done once, and maybe you'll do it again. 1,000 different downloads that haven't become an integrated system. And then you're told, just post more, or just build a funnel, or just run ads. But the real issue isn't visibility. It's that your work isn't organized in a way to create a movement and to have some structure behind that movement. So here's the shift that I'm so passionate about teaching. Your creation isn't random, it's currency. But currency only circulates when it has clarity, structure, repeatability, and amplification. And that's why inside my world, we don't just create offers. We build what I call the sacred MUSE CEO ecosystem year round. Because when your work becomes an ecosystem, you stop starting over every month and you start compounding. And the simplest engine for compounding that I've found is one signature workshop run monthly, quarterly, live, recorded, it doesn't matter. When it's designed correctly, it does three things. It creates cash now, it converts premium clients, and it builds your movement audience, the people who would love to be a part of all of the different things that you create. Now, a word about premium clients. When I say premium clients, to me, that means clients who are in devotion to the work that you are doing with them. So, people who will get results, who are devoted, and who take it seriously, the work that you're here to do. So if you're wondering, okay, Hillary, what would I actually do? Here's the structure. We start with creation as currency, which is where your work becomes coherent and monetizable. And inside of that, you'll build your category of one positioning so that you're not competing, your signature workshop that's psychologically optimized, and your conversion pathway so the right people naturally move and progress into the next step. Then we move into Movement Muse. This is where we refine your ecosystem and make it repeatable so that your workshop becomes an engine, not a one-off event. And then we move into the Quantum, where we amplify your visibility, your reach, your collaborations, your partnerships, so that you can truly expand. So that's the sequence. Now, why this works, especially for soulful healers, spiritual entrepreneurs, and creative leaders, because the market doesn't reward more effort, and neither does your capacity, the way that you work. The market rewards a clear signal. So when your work is coherent, people can feel it. When your work is structured, people trust it. And when your workshop is repeatable, you stop relying on random bursts of income. When you add high value collaborations, you're no longer depending on strangers finding you. You're placing your work into rooms that are already aligned. So instead of being everywhere, you start being really strategic. So let me introduce what I've built for this. It's called the Sacred Muse CEO year-round program, and I'm going to say this directly. If you are serious about building consistent income for your body of work, this is the most valuable investment you can make because it's pure mentorship. It gives you a system and a year-round structure to implement it. It's not a one-off course that you consume and forget. This is an infrastructure with mentorship. This is where your work becomes a living ecosystem that pays you over and over again. So inside Sacred Muse CEO, you're getting the step-by-step build of your workshop engine, the ecosystem pathway so that your next offers sell naturally, collaboration strategies so that your audience grows without constant posting, and the refinement process so that your positioning becomes category of one. You're building a business that is elegant, that is creative, that is visionary, that is repeatable, and aligned with your nervous system, because you're not meant to build a soul-led business through burnout or chaos or lack of coherence. And I want to be really clear about something because I don't do hype. So here's how I support you powerfully and with integrity. Inside this journey, we operate with a sacred agreement, meaning if you build the assets, run the workshop engine, and implement the partnership and the outreach the way that we map it, you will not stay in the same income reality. Because this is not mindset only, although we will start with mindset. This is structure, this is leadership, and this is business architecture. So now, if you're watching this and you're thinking, I want the full ecosystem, I want the year-round structure, I want the compounding, then Sacred Muse CEO is for you. But if you're not ready yet for a full year, you can start with the first two activations. Creation as currency, where your work becomes coherent and monetizable, and Movement Muse, where we build momentum in an entire ecosystem around your work. Either way, you're entering the Sacred Muse movement. So here's what you can do next. Click the link near this video and apply or enroll for Sacred Muse CEO. And if you start with creation as currency, you'll see that option 2, you can ignite the sequence that leads into movement muse and quantum muse. So either way, you're choosing the reality where your work stops being scattered and starts becoming a movement. Because the truth is, your gifts are not meant to be a side quest. Your work is not meant to live in fragments, and you're not meant to keep creating brilliance without being fully compensated for it. Your creation is currency. So let's build the ecosystem that can finally hold it.